Just ahead on Renovations, the living room ceiling and attic floor of this 50-year-old suburban home will be demolished to expose an elegant cathedral ceiling. Plus, framing goes up for a new master bedroom suite and an exterior wall is taken down to create a new rear entrance. That's next on Renovations. Hello and welcome to Renovations. I'm Bart Shadlow. This 1950s two-bedroom Cape Cod home is about to go through some major renovations, both inside and out. A new second floor will be added, the kitchen will be remodeled, and this gabled portico will be replicated as a new side entrance to the kitchen. And here's the builder, Bobby Lundsten. How are you?
Hey Bart, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
I understand the biggest part of this job is putting a second floor addition in. What's that going to look like back here?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to actually demolish the entire roof back here, come off with a new second floor to create a master bedroom and bathroom.
Wow, wow. I see someone else is doing something around here. What's he up to?
Yeah, Nick is just taking some quick measurements and getting the layout for a new foundation, which we're trying to create a little room back here, which will be the entrance to our new door. So we'll take out the stones.
Oh, so you've got a new entrance going back there.
That's what we'll have. They have no way of getting in there now.
Oh, okay, so this is the main living area and they're taking out the ceiling here.
Yeah, well first we're taking out the plasterboard that's on there.
Yep.
It's hiding the 2x6 ceiling joist that we're going to replace and cut out later. And then what we'll do is we'll just rough cut these for now and get them out of the way, open this up to the big cathedral area.
All these walls are coming out?
Every one of them.
Wow, basically gutting the place.
Exactly. You can see how gloomy it was. Very claustrophobic with the walls and ceiling.
I can imagine. That's going to open up this place incredibly.
Extremely. Remember we were out back, I showed you where we're going to have the entranceway to the back?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, this is where it's going to be.
Again, this is an electrician, obviously. What's he doing here at the moment?
Well, what he's doing, he's going in front of us and sometimes behind us, removing the old electrical lines that are probably live or dead from previous renovations.
What's this all about?
Well, what's going to happen in here is just going to be like a phase 2. We're going to tear this out, new kitchen, blow out some walls.
Basically redoing the whole thing.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm interested to see these cathedral ceilings. Can we get up to the attic?
Sure. Just follow me.
So, Bobby, how long is this going to take to get all this demolished?
I'm saying we could have everything completed within a week.
About a week, huh?
Then what we'll do is we'll start doing our wall framing, our restructuring of our roof that we have now to beef it up because we're going to be adding 2x10s to these 2x6 ceiling joists.
And you're finishing everything off with drywall?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
And then this is the area we're standing. It will be the walkway, the cantilevered area, and this will float out to the main dormer that we're going to be putting up.
So there's a walkway here that's overlooking the living area?
Exactly. This will all be open below.
Rail along here?
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to have the dormer back of here?
Correct. That'll be the master suite.
Yep. So obviously this ceiling's going to come out?
That's all going to have to get cut out later on. Waiting for the weather on that one.
All right, great. Well, I'm going to go downstairs and see what the electrician's doing.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm back downstairs here with Ben, the electrician. What are you up to, Ben?
Well, this outlet was in an existing wall. Now that wall's being removed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace this back down to the basement and find out where it goes, either straight back to the panel or a junction box, and delete it. We're going to run all new outlets. So
okay, so
that's basically just, we'll go down and we'll see where this goes.
Okay, let's check it out.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so we're now down in the basement, and this is where you think this wire is leading to, huh?
Yeah, I traced this back from upstairs, and where that wall was at one time, and it comes back here. This runs the length of the rafter.
So your job here is just you just want to take this wire out. We don't need it anymore because that came from that wall that's been removed.
Yeah, we're deleting it. Anything else that's going to be put back up in that room as it becomes a living room again will come straight from the panel.
And then once it's deleted, just pull it through, and that's
pull it through.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, this will be out of here. This will be no longer needed. This wire's every bit of 45, 50 years old. I'm actually going to change this box to a 4-inch 1900 box because there's just too many leads in here to begin with. and it's going to create some problems.
This must be tricky trying to do your work while demolition is going on, even as we speak, upstairs. How do you do that? How do you keep ahead of what's going on down there so they don't get electrocuted and so forth?
Just pretty much take heed to what Bobby's doing upstairs, because he's the one doing the demo.
Yeah.
Try to stay ahead of him as much as possible.
What's the next step here?
To make the work keep moving, I'm going to splice these all together. It's just a temporary setup for the next couple of days so that they have power up there for ripping those walls out.
Oh, okay, so the guy's building out.
Once they get moving into the attic area and they don't need those outlets down there, then I'll take an hour or 2 hours, whatever it takes to get back down here and trace these out. Any wire that's bad, replace it from the panel forward. And I'll make the judgment call on that.
When we come back, framing goes up for the second floor addition, plus the subfloor goes down. Welcome back to Renovations. A couple of days ago, demolition began on this Cape Cod style home to make way for a second floor addition, a remodeled kitchen, and a new back entrance. So far, the attic floor has been taken out, exposing this cathedral ceiling in the living room. Also, a closet and a wall have been taken out to make space for a spiral staircase that's going to lead up to the master bedroom suite. With most of the demolition completed, framing has begun. But now, unexpectedly, the homeowners have changed the design to change the framing to include the installation of a parallam beam. Bobby, why the change?
We're looking for a much more bolder look. Let me show you what's happening here. What he's doing is he's creating a pocket in the block wall to recess the beam in. Now that beam will come across, tie into the floor joist, which will support the second floor flooring and the wall system. And over here you can see we have a temporary beam set up just to hold it until we can get it in place. Then eventually we'll run the structural beam down and connect it into the footers and tie everything together.
You take the temporary beam out there.
Correct.
Okay, so what's next? I've noticed you're measuring up the thing, so you're ready to cut?
That's what we're doing. Okay. And as soon as I get her cut, and we'll just pick her up and put her in place.
Put a bit of muscle behind it, huh?
That's where we're going to need it.
To it. Okay.
Correct. You guys ready?
We're ready. Okay. This beam is manufactured lumber and weighs about 300 pounds. Apart from providing the necessary structural support, it will add a bold design element to the room.
I'm in.
That's good.
Good.
Well done, guys. Well done. We should find Nick out the back here. Here he is. Nick,
Hi,
how
Bart.
are you?
How's it going, Bart?
I'm good, good. What's going on here at the moment?
Well, the owners decided to add a little mudroom to this area here, Bart. So we're going to be creating a mudroom area here with the access doorway into the house.
Through here?
Right through here.
Yep.
And then we found we had some room to put a access into the basement also.
Ah.
So we're cutting a hole through here with some steps up this way down into the basement.
So that's new to the design. That wasn't part of the original plan, huh?
Addition, yes.
All right.
And of course, we got to dig out here a 5-foot deep hole to get access into the basement.
Oh, really? So you're going to break up all this concrete?
Some of this concrete's got to go. We're going to create new concrete walls for the stairwell and also new concrete stairs. And of course, a new pad area out this area where these guys are digging now. Of course, you got to dig by hand because you have a tight area here.
Oh, so you can't bring in a backhoe?
Not this time. Now we're doing the old-fashioned way this time.
All right. A lot of work out of you. What happens here with this is where the rear entrance is going?
Into the new, into the house, right. So we'll be cutting some of this area out here.
Yep.
We're going to save a lot of these stones for, so it'll blend with the house itself.
Well, we're back in the living room here where work continues on this second floor addition. As you remember, we had this parallam beam put in, and at the moment they're getting the floor joist, which used to be the actual ceiling joist, but now becoming floor joist, getting tied into this parallam beam. We've got Moses here, and Moses, you've got this job at the moment. Can you tell us how you're doing this?
Well, now that the parallam beam is in place, and because of the strength it has, we're using these joist hangers. What this joist hanger does is it cradles our floor joist, our 2x10 floor joist. It cradles it It gives it extra strength on the lower section of it. And we use these Teco nails to attach it to our Paralam beam.
Okay, these look a lot fatter than normal nails.
Yeah, they're quite a bit fatter than your framing nails. They add a lot of shear strength.
Yeah.
When these are hammered in place through the recessed holes here in your joist hanger, they give it an incredible shear strength. It'd be senseless to have such a strong Paralam beam and not use your joist hangers.
Right, so basically this idea is you've got people walking around upstairs and it's just going to keep these things nicely, firmly anchored in there.
Yep, these are specially made to fit your 2-inch lumber. They cradle it snugly, so it's an incredible strength.
Great. Okay, I'm going to leave you with it. I'm going to go upstairs and see what's happening. And upstairs we've got guys working on the subfloor, and once that's done we can actually take this roof out. But we've also got Ben, our electrician, here, and I understand, Ben, you've got some new problems here. Last time we met up with you, you were downstairs, down in the basement, had all sorts of problems there.
And plenty up here too, Bert.
Wow, what's going on?
They tied a master bedroom, bathroom, kitchen. Everything's into this box here for the ceiling fan in the kitchen.
So sorry, let's just catch up with what you've been doing. As these guys have been demolishing and framing up, you've basically been following them or trying to keep ahead of them, sorting out the wiring. So, I mean, these guys are putting in floor now.
Right.
So you're going to have this job
ready
done
for tomorrow. Yeah,
right.
This has got to be out of here and still keep them running. So.
And what's your process here at the moment? This just looks like what you call this, a rat's nest?
It's a rat's nest. Whoever did it buried all this under this insulation and let it go.
And that, to me, looks like
He thought that was acceptable.
It
And
looks
it's been
like
like that for years.
potentially dangerous.
Very dangerous.
You've been trying to work out what's live,
I've been
what's
on this
not.
for 40 minutes just trying to pull this out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, quite a mess.
Well, you're doing a good job, so we'll leave you with that. And I'm going to go check out the guys and see how their flooring's going. Okay, Bobby, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what we're doing, we're getting ready to lay the subfloor. We've already got one sheet there. Now this one will butt up to that butt seam there.
Yep.
Bruce is coming down and he's gonna glue this subfloor down.
Mm-hmm. So just tell me about this glue here. Does this just anchor the flooring down, or is there another purpose to it?
It stops a lot of the squeaks.
Oh, tightens it right up, yeah?
Correct, because a lot of times the wood's going to shrink up. So what will happen is the next sheet will butt up to that and we'll knock it in with a piece of wood.
Yep.
All right there, Bruce? So what he's going to do now, he's just going to nail it down. We'll nail the corners. And we know we're square because we've already checked that.
Right. You know, I'm really starting to get an idea of how this thing's shaping up. It's great.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Next on Renovations, a roof vent is installed and a stone wall is taken out to make way for a new rear entrance. Welcome back. This 1950s Cape Cod home is going through some major renovations both inside and out. In the past couple of weeks, a lot of work has transpired. The upstairs dormer has been framed out and the whole house has been virtually rewired. As you can see up here, this is where the hi-hat recessed lighting will go. And back here we've got Bobby taking out this wall where the new rear entrance is going to be. Bobby, can you tell us a bit about what you're doing here?
What we're doing is we're taking down the interior block wall, which is a 4-inch block wall, and then we're trying to salvage some of these original stonework for some patch jobs that we need later.
Bobby, can you tell us about this tool you're using?
Yeah, I'm using a pneumatic chipping hammer. At the moment I'm using a 3/4-inch chisel blade on it. There's several. There's the points, there's ones for cutting.
And this is the sort of bit that you'd use to get
right,
this mortar
seems to
here.
be the easiest one to use.
Could you show us how that works?
Sure. It's a little dusty, but...
To preserve as much stone as possible, each stone is removed one at a time. You just chip away at the mortar and then you get the stone and throw that out there for keeping.
That's it.
How long is this process going to take you?
It's going to take us a good 2 hours to get down. We need to re-support some few things, and another couple hours to clean up the stand that we're going to need.
And this was once just going to be a rear entrance, but now it's going to feed into this mud room that the owners have.
It's going to look really sharp.
Well, I'll leave you to it. I'm going to go upstairs and see how this ridge vent is going.
Great.
Coming up to look at this second floor addition, which is just about complete, and then onto the roof to have a look at a ridge vent that's being installed. As you can see, the house wrappers on the house, that's a moisture barrier to protect the insides from rain. New windows are in. And then up here on the roof, we've got Bruce putting on the shingles and then putting in this ridge vent afterwards. Okay, Bruce, what's happening up here?
We're going to cut the shingles back for open up the roof so it can breathe.
Right.
And we're going to put the ridge vent in.
And this material behind you, this is the ridge vent?
Yes.
Can we have a look at that? How does this work?
This here we're going to lay right down in the center after we cut the center out.
Yep.
From one end to the other.
Yep.
And after we get this into place,
And this is the capping?
this will be the cap for the ridge vent.
Right.
We'll start putting this on.
And how does this work? I mean, it's all honeycombed back here. Is this allows the hot air through here?
Right. It comes from the bottom of the roof, follows up. There's a hollow spot between the insulation and the plywood, and hot air will come pulling it out of here. You can stick your hand down there and feel the hot air coming out already.
I can feel that, yes. And then it comes out, and then it actually exits through here.
Right. And the cloth is to keep the bugs and the weather from going in.
So this is weather resistant, but allows the hot air out. Before installing the ridge vent, the roof felt is cut back. 2.5-inch aluminum roofing nails are used to fasten the vent. Bruce, tell me, what are these shingles made out of?
They're fiberglass and an asphalt.
Uh-huh. And what's this stuff embedded into the top here?
That's like a stone grit.
Uh-huh. What's the warranty on these things?
That'd be a 25-year.
Right. Well, it looks like once all of this is nailed in, that's about it for the ridge vent and the cap. So, Bruce, thanks for your time.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Coming up on renovations, new foundation walls go up and the cathedral ceilings are finished. For questions or comments, please write to Renovations, care of HGTV, Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee 37950. Be sure to include the episode number and your daytime telephone number. Welcome back to Renovations. I'm Bart Shadlow. Major renovation work is underway at this 1950s suburban home where a second floor addition is being built. Here at the rear of the house, the homeowners have decided to build a mudroom addition and a new entrance to the basement. Now, excavation for the foundation has already taken place and the footers have been poured. Mark, it looks like you're very busy down here.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what you're doing here at the moment?
Right now I am spreading mortar on the cinder block.
Now, this cinder block wall is going to house the new entrance into the basement, is that right?
Correct.
How high is this wall going to be?
This wall is going to be about 4 foot high.
Right, and it's not a structural wall, so you don't have to pour any concrete into the blocks themselves. They just sit as they do.
Correct.
This mortar that you're using here, what's the working time with this?
On a day like today, it's not real long.
Is that right?
The heat sets it up quite quick.
Right.
When you butter the block, like I'm doing now, the moisture in the cement instantly gets absorbed into the block.
Oh, right.
And it sets up quite quick.
Because it's fairly porous, yeah.
Correct.
Now these are cinder blocks, right?
Correct.
And I notice that you're about to come to an end there that you need to cut.
Right.
Obviously, we need to look at how you do that. Can you show us that?
I sure can. I'll take this for a camera.
This
This is called a corner block. And I need 2 inches So you score it. Yeah.
So you're saying this block is different to the other blocks?
Correct.
In what way?
This is a corner.
Yep.
And this is a regular
Oh, it's
block.
just got that on, okay,
See,
both ends.
these are ears.
Yep. And
You
that holds the mortar in
correct.
place. Right, I got it.
Correct.
Okay, so you just score this with your hammer.
Just score it with your hammer. If you'll listen as I'm doing this, you can hear
the
it
pitch.
crack.
Yeah. Well, you can hear the pitch changing
Correct.
too.
Yes. It's about to break. There we go.
Nice
Okay.
work, very clean.
Then you
We'll see if that fits.
butter the block again. That's what we call it, buttering.
Right. I suppose you get pretty good at judging what sort of
Fit? Yes.
fit you need there.
Your eye never lies.
I'm not too sure about that, but I trust you with this.
And then you
Okay,
set
and then
it
it goes in
spot.
like that. So the flat edge goes to the wall.
Correct. Well, that doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter. That looks like a decent fit. So once
And
you've
then
got, now you've got this row in, what would
Correct.
be the next block? Would you
Well-
continue on down that way? Or?
Well, what I would do is I would build my corner. When you lay block, you build a corner,
Yeah,
and then down there you would call it a lead.
yeah.
You build your corner, you build your lead, and then you fill in between.
Okay.
Okay?
So it just keeps you lined up nicely,
Correct. Correct.
right? Okay, great. Well, Mark, I thank you for your time. I'll leave you to it. I'm going to go back inside and see what's happening in there.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks for stopping by.
Well, as you can see, work continues here on the inside. All the drywall is up and Bobby's putting on a finish coat on the new cathedral ceiling. Looking very nice, Bobby.
Yeah, thanks, Bart. Just about ready for paint.
Great. And if we go here into the kitchen, it looks like demolition has begun already. Bruce, what are you doing here?
We're removing this cabinet because we have to take that wall out to remodel the kitchen.
Great, I'll leave you to it. And if we come through here to the fireplace, as you can see, all the mortar has been chipped out and they're getting this thing ready for repointing. Well, that's all the time we have, but check back with us next time when the kitchen will be remodeled, including new cabinetry work and countertops. Plus, we'll also replicate the front gabled portico entrance as a new entrance at the side of the house. All that and more on the next Renovations. Just ahead on Renovations, a 1950s Cape Cod home gets a new rear entrance, a tile floor is laid in a new master bathroom, plus a worn-out kitchen gets a facelift. All that and more next on Renovations. Welcome to Renovations. I'm Bart Shadlow. Last time on the show, major renovation work began on this 1950s Cape Cod home, turning a cramped one-storey house into an open living space, complete with second-floor master suite. Let's take a look. The living room ceiling and attic floor were demolished to make way for this elegant cathedral ceiling, and a parallam beam was installed to provide structural support for the second floor while providing a bold design element. In the back of the house, closets and walls were removed to open up the space, and a mudroom addition was begun. Over here, the living room wall was also removed to open up the kitchen, creating a great room in the process. With that work complete, it's time to get on with the renovation. As you can see, the kitchen demolition is finished and the drywall for the ceiling is about to go up. Once that's done, new cabinets, Formica countertops and a ceramic tile floor will be added. Also, the front gabled portico will be replicated as a new side entrance to the kitchen. Out the back, a new door will be put on the mudroom addition, and upstairs, the master bathroom is having a new tile floor installed. Let's have a look. Now in the bathroom here, where Bruce is laying down the baseboard for the floor tiles. Bruce, tell us what you're doing.
I'm measuring up for the water pipes and the drain pipe. I have to drill holes into the cement board.
This is cement board. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Why do you use this rather than anything else?
This stabilizes the floor so nothing moves around, the tile won't crack and they won't move.
Okay, so it's nice and thick. And tell us, how do you cut these holes once you've got them measured up?
You either cut it with a diamond blade on your saw, and I usually use these diamond saw holes.
So you're ready to cut?
I'm ready to drill a hole.
All right. Great. Now the big test, see if it fits.
That'll be it.
I'm sure it does. The old rule of measuring twice and cutting once. Yeah, look at that. Before tiling, the cement board is nailed to the subfloor and then taped. Well, Bruce has finished putting down the cement board, he's taped it up, and now he's basically measuring the tiles up, ready for cutting. Bruce, tell us what you're doing here.
We're measuring up for the water line, and we're going to measure up for the waste.
Right.
And we're going to cut them holes, and then we can put this one down.
Tell us a bit about these tiles. What are they made of?
They're ceramic tiles, and on the back you can see they have the webbing so they grip and don't slide around.
Okay. And is this one ready to cut?
Yeah, this one's ready.
Bruce, tell me a little bit about this saw that you're using to cut the tiles.
It's a wet saw. The water keeps the blade cool so it doesn't burn your blade out.
What sort of blade is it?
It's a diamond blade. So we'll just break these off now.
So Bruce, be honest, how many tiles have you broken cutting holes in them?
Quite a few. It happens. They're very hard and they're brittle, you know. They don't bend. So if you put a lot of pressure on them, they will break.
And do you put down just enough adhesive for one tile and then lay the tile and then move on like that? Is that how you do it?
Basically, when we're just fitting, I'll just do one tile. Once we get going, then I'll do big areas and lay a lot of tile at one time.
So you got a bit of setting time with this?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. And obviously you put your spacers in there so you've got a nice even gap between each tile.
Yes.
Great. Well, we've got half of that hole done. You've got to cut another one after that. And then I guess once you've done all that, once you've done the tricky areas where the pipes and plumbing are coming through, it's pretty straightforward.
Then it'll be a piece of cake.
Good. Great stuff. While the bathroom tile is installed, in the kitchen, drywall work continues. Hey, Bobby, throwing up some dust there.
Yeah, just cutting it out with a drywall router.
So you've been cutting this out for this recessed light fixture there?
Oh, we want it nice and tight.
Okay.
That way the recessed lighting cap fits over there real nice and snug.
I also noticed just over here you did some prep work on the joists here. You cut out some of the original joists?
Yeah, what we did, when we originally did the framing on the second floor dormer, we also extended 2x10s across the old ceiling in the kitchen, only because they had 2x6s and we added storage upstairs, so we wanted a beefier floor.
No, basically, you're going to have people walking up there, whereas before it was just a
right,
roof.
and you would get that bow in the floor.
Okay.
We didn't want to see that.
Okay. What sort of glue are you using, Bobby?
We're just using regular construction adhesive. Adheres the drywall to the framing, eliminates a lot of nail pops. Little insurance.
Right.
And what we're going to do is just tack this sheet up here, and I'll, how's that fit?
Oh, nice. Look at that. So, Bobby, how much longer do you think this job will take you?
Probably another 2 hours.
Yeah,
Do it
finish
the
the
right way.
kitchen. Well, it looks like you're about ready to cut out the hole for this slide fixture. I'll leave you to it. Next on Renovations, a new back door completes the mudroom, plus an oak hardwood floor is installed. Welcome back to Renovations. This Cape Cod style home has undergone some major renovation work. A second floor addition, a new kitchen and new exterior entrances are all underway. Here at the rear of the house, the homeowners originally had planned to put a new door in this stone wall, but instead have decided to expand this area to include a mudroom. With most of the work completed, the exterior door is about to be installed. Hey Bobby, looks like you've been very busy since we saw you last.
Sure have been, Bart.
You're about to hang this door. Can you tell us what you do?
Yeah, what we're doing now is we're just going to pre-fit the door, do like a dry run.
Now this is a pre-hung door that you just, you basically give your measurements. Is it a custom-made thing or is it pretty much off the shelf?
Pretty well much off the shelf. It's just considered a 9-light raised 2 panel hardware, and we've added a deadbolt so to give the homeowner a lot of security.
So it obviously fits. You cut the hole, what, a little bit wider than you need? What do you do with the, take up that slack there?
Well, what we do is we leave enough room for insulation to come down, probably about a ½ an inch in between the door jamb and the rough framing.
And the purpose of that is just to, stop drafts coming through?
Try to eliminate all the drafts we can. And what Bruce is doing now, he's putting 2 beads of caulk down,
yeah.
which the door will sit on.
Right. This is an
And,
added precaution with as far as sealant, huh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And it also keeps some of the bugs out, too.
And then you just sit this thing in.
Well, we just sit it in, and then he'll level it up and center it in from the inside.
Yep.
And he's making sure the reveals on this door are all correct. You know, one of the most common mistakes they do is get a door that's out of level, and it never shuts right, doesn't seal right. Okay? What I'm doing now is I'm just tacking it with some 2-inch brad nails,
Yep.
and then we'll come back and we'll drill and recess our holes, put our screws in.
What size bit are you using here, Bobby?
We're using a 5/8 fly bit here, and what this is going to do is give us enough room to throw a plug in there,
Right.
cover the screw.
How deep are you going with this?
Actually about a 1/4 inch on the average. Enough to cover the head of the screw and still get enough beef on the wood.
All right, this is the last screw going in. And now you just shimmy it up, put some plugs in.
That's all that's needed to be done. Put the hardware on, we're finished.
Ready to go. Well, we're back inside the house and a lot has happened since last time we were here. The recessed lighting and fans have been put in. The ceiling has been popcorn surfaced. We've got a new front door and the fireplace has been repointed. Looks very nice. We got Jason here putting in this floor. Jason, tell us about this. What sort of timber are you using?
It's oak hardwood floors, random length.
Now, so random length means how do you lay that out?
Meaning you don't want your joints to fall on top of each other the next board.
And I've noticed you've got actually using all sorts of lengths. This piece here is just over 1 foot.
Right.
And then you've got another piece, you know, this is 5, 6 feet.
Right, you don't want your joints lining up because when the wood expands and contracts.
Okay.
You're going to see the spaces.
Tell us about this tool. What does this do?
It nails a nail right into the tongue. So you won't see the nails on the top.
So this thing here, this sits up against the...
Exactly. This sits against the floor, and this will sit against the tongue. And it'll drive the nail right directly in there.
Which means you don't see any nailing.
You don't see any nails, and you don't have to worry about cracking the tongue. So then your next piece will fit right in there.
Great. So what's the next step, Jason?
Our next step is to cut our angle for our first starter piece over there.
Okay.
Come over and see how it fits.
Okay, you're cutting these at 45 degrees?
It's actually 44 degrees. Sometimes it's a little off and you'll see it, and you want as tight as you can be. You don't want any gaps.
That's very tight. That's nicely done.
Yes. And we'll just continue on.
And then once this floor is all laid, is it sealed with some sort of treatment?
You don't have to, but we like to put another coat of polyurethane on so that if you get any moisture or water between here and here is where it'll
get sealed, so it won't actually, water won't penetrate.
Yep.
Great. And then that's it. You don't need to polish it or buff it or anything like that?
Just keep it clean.
Looks very nice. Coming up on Renovations, a spiral staircase joins the first floor with the new master bedroom suite. Welcome back to Renovations. I'm Bart Shadlow. For the past 3 months, major renovation work has been underway at this 50-year-old suburban home. But as in most renovations, changes do occur that sometimes lead to monies that are allocated for one job being redirected towards another. Instead of building a new side portico entrance to replicate the front entrance of this home, the owners have opted instead to install a wooden spiral staircase. Now, this is a much more expensive option than a conventional staircase, but one that will have a huge impact on the living space. Hey, Bobby, this is impressive.
You like this, huh?
It looks great. It adds so much to this room.
Yeah, that it does. It's given a nice decor.
What sort of wood is this?
This is solid oak.
Yeah? And this comes in kit form?
Yeah, it comes like a big jigsaw puzzle.
And what's Jason doing down here?
Well, what he's doing right now is he's tightening up the nuts that hold these stair treads on. Ready, Jason?
So these two bolts, that's all that holds each tread up?
Correct. But you get a little more support system from the railings and the way that you got your spindles coming down.
Right. And so once you put it onto the bolt, you put your nuts on the end here, you tighten them up, and then I guess you put some sort of plugs.
We just have a cap that just slides right up on top.
Right.
And then once he's done,
it's all very neat. You don't see anything. So we've got this final tread going in, Bobby. What are you doing over here?
What I'm doing is I'm getting ready to connect the two steps together. And what we have here is 2 mortise joints.
Right.
That'll be secured to the stair tread.
Okay, so you've basically got 2 different components. You've got this piece that connects the two of tread to tread, and then you've got this simpler piece that just sits on top of each tread and ties it into the rail.
Yeah, this is more just for safety, and this here would be for the structural. And this gets screwed in. I'll show you how that's done. And these also get caps.
Yeah. It's nicely designed. It really ties the thing in together. Bobby, I seem to remember the original idea was to have the staircase going straight down this hallway here. Why did that change?
Well, what we did is we actually changed the layout upstairs. We threw the bathroom onto the other end to create more of a living room loft bedroom type of atmosphere.
And so a straight staircase would have just eaten into that space, right?
Right, and we figured we had this extra space here, might as well utilize it and try to fancy it up.
Well, and it sits nicely in the room too, I think.
And it does. They still have room to put their furniture in, and it'd be quite comfortable.
Well, now that all the treads and the spindles are in place, it's time now to attach this one-piece railing. This looks kind of tricky, Bobby.
Yeah, it is. We're just temporarily setting it in here.
Now, is it true this is all one piece?
It's all one piece look, but it's actually a laminated oak pieces, probably 1/4, 3/8 put together, and then put through a steamer, twisted.
So the thinner pieces laminated together, glued,
and then actually steamed and fitted into a clamp system that gives us its shape.
Wow, that's impressive. Looks great though. Coming up, custom cabinets are installed and work on the kitchen is completed. For questions or comments, please write to Renovations, care of HGTV, Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee 37950. Be sure to include the episode number and your daytime telephone number. Welcome back. With a new second floor addition and a new rear entrance, this 1950s Cape Cod home has undergone a big transformation over the past 3 months. This 25-year-old kitchen has been demolished, new walls and flooring have been added, and now the cabinets are being installed. Bobby, how's it going?
Not too bad, Bart.
What's this looks like this is where the sink's going?
That's correct. This is sink basin. All we're drilling now is the couple of holes for the plumbing.
And is this a custom-made kitchen?
To a certain point it is.
Right.
I'll drill another hole yet for the main drain, and then we'll set it in.
And how long does this job normally take you?
Probably about 2 days.
All right.
Install the kitchen, yeah.
Yep.
Then you got to add your time for your countertops, finish work, and the backsplashes.
Nice fit. Bobby, what are some of the challenges in putting a kitchen in like this?
Mainly just starting off level and plumb. If you don't, you're going to mess yourself up with your cabinets.
Right.
You have to find your start point. You can see we have lines on the walls.
Yeah.
And we have our benchmark, which creates our line all the way around the entire kitchen. What I'm doing here, Bart, is I found my studs on the walls.
All right.
And that tells me that that's exactly where my stud is, so I know where to put my screw. Now what I'm doing is I'll pre-drill just around the top here.
Yeah. When you put these studs in, they're just at 16-inch centers, aren't they? You don't put them in specially to fit the kitchen as you anticipated going in?
If we're building the house, yes. But
Right.
that is a good question because we don't know where these studs are. Even though this has been re-drywalled, we still don't know where they are. And the older places were just furred out over the block.
Right.
So that's what we have to watch out for because every screw counts. Now what I've done is I pre-drilled that. Now what Jason's going to do is going to lift the back end up just a little bit to that line.
Okay, this is just to hold it while you get the thing level, right?
Right. We're going to come around the front here and we're going to shim up the bottom. That's good, Jason, right there. This side. Now what I'm doing is I'm just clamping these together a little bit. And now I'll shim out the back here. Can you give me a little room here, Jason? I'll bring the bottom up a little bit. Okay.
Once the cabinets are level, holes are drilled in the door frames and the cabinets are screwed together. How long do the shims stay in? Is it until you've put in the next piece?
Well, when we're done with all the top countertops and everything's leveled out where we want it, then we'll cut them out, because there's a kick plate that goes over that will hide all those shims.
Ah, I see. This is really the tricky part of putting in kitchen cabinets, is just making sure they line up right.
You want your doors all to be lined up, and also the tops have to be lined up, otherwise the countertop doesn't fit correctly.
Right. With the new cabinets and countertops installed, this kitchen renovation is complete. Well, that about wraps it up at this house. But before we go, let's take a quick look at the work that has taken place. The first floor ceiling and attic floor were demolished to make way for these elegant cathedral ceilings. A second floor addition was built that includes a master bedroom suite, including a tile bath. A new updated kitchen was put in, including new walls and cabinets, plus new hardwood flooring, parallel strand beam, and a spiral staircase were installed in this enlarged living space. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us next time for more projects and houses on the next Renovations.